it, but government will have a perpetual license to use it for public use. The evaluation criteria will primarily be on the capability of the team, their approach and strategy. Development of use cases also be incentivized. Not that you just have to make a model, you also have to demonstrate how it can be used for solving a societal problem in any sector. Then it has to, timelines and milestones are very important. It cannot be a very long-term project. We will have to compete with the world's best in this regard. And then it has to conform to ethical consideration. It has to be scalable and sustainable, because and financial viability will also be looked into it. Like how does it compare with the benchmark models which are already there in the field. Funding mechanism, there are two approaches which have been envisaged. Initially there will be a direct funding for building the model, where there will be milestone based disbursements, and it can be in additional to any other funds the entity has raised. It will not limit their ability to raise funds from other sources, including state governments if they are providing funding support. And the other option will be, once the model is developed, if there are more funding required to further refine it, there will be a provision for equity based funding also, in which the terms and conditions are officially mutually agreed upon. Selection process will be like, once the proposals are received, then there will be expert panel which will be evaluating the proposals, and it's again a very dynamic kind of call for proposals. Not that it's a one-time thing. Every month, by 15th, proposals will be accepted, and all the proposals which are accepted by 15th, they will be evaluated, and a decision will be taken within the next 1 month. So that way, this call for proposal will initially be on for 6 months. So every month there will be a chance for people to participate in this call for proposals. And based on the presentation, based on their capability, demonstrated capability, team strength, and based on their approach and strategy, the funding quantum will be recommended by the expert panel. So that's the details of the call for proposal. Okay.
Open for questions.
Yes, sir.
So friends, as you have seen in the presentation, our Prime Minister's economic thinking is very inclusive economic thinking. Make the modern technology accessible to everybody. Make sure that the people at the bottom of the pyramid get the benefits of economic empowerment. That is the economic thinking that our Prime Minister has. Now we'll open it up for questions. And as always, we'll start from one side and go to the side. So we'll start from the left. Yeah.
सर ये बिल्डर्स अभी आपने दिखाई है फाइनलाइज हो गए हैं, द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हैज बीन अवार्डेड.
फाइनलाइज हो गए सारे. हाँ.
Sir, my question was about making it affordable, and this plan must have been in works for quite some months. Are there any changes that are going to be made to respond to the developments around DC?
So this is the most affordable compute facility at this point of time. If you see, the global benchmark is about $2.50 per GPU hour, and this is actually coming at significantly less than $1 after the 40% cost to be shared by the government, to be borne by the government. This will be significantly less than $1 per GPU hour. So this will be the most affordable compute facility at this point of time.
Sir, and just one other question about the interim rule.
क्लच दबाने की आदत से परेशान? क्लच की आदत हटाओ, ऑल इलेक्ट्रिक रोर इजी चलाओ, क्योंकि अब से इंडिया राइड्स इजी.
And on American giving advantage to American companies in particular. So how are we looking at that, and how are we looking at native manufacturing of chips? If we are.
So India is seen as a trusted country across the world. We respect IP rights, we respect the considerations in technology, and that's why we have signed MOUs on very important technologies with some of all the largest economic blocs in the world. And we believe that this trust which has got developed because of our Prime Minister's conduct of foreign policy and the very transparent economic policies that we have, this trust will be very important in every consideration, every regulation that any country brings. We believe that our India AI mission will flourish because of this trust. Next. Samya.
Sir, if we see in the US, the companies that have done well in the AI space, OpenAI, etc. In China, we have DeepSeek and everything. This innovation here in China is happening from a small hedge fund. There, companies like Microsoft, etc., they stepped up and procured the GPUs and built these systems, etc. How sustainable is this model here, where to kickstart this industry here, we need 40% money from the government? What is the sort of sustainability goal that we're looking at? For how long will this funding continue? And do we eventually expect the private sector to completely take over this? And if any subsidy is given to colleges and students and startups, etc., that should be borne by the private companies, not by the government. Is there a sunset clause to that that we're thinking at this point?
4 years or 3 years? 4 years. 4 years. 4 years is the sunset clause.
So after 4 years, the government will stop giving this 40%.
This AI mission, in its currently approved form, will be able to provide subsidy for 4 years. So that means it's a very sustainable period. And we believe that as we have more empanelments, the prices will actually go down significantly below what they have already come. One second.
Plus extendable. But we have the cabinet approval for 5 years, so that covers it.
So one last. So far it was a little iffy here whether we want to do a foundation model of our own or not. There were multiple versions which we kept on hearing. But now after this DeepSeek thing has come up with the kind of cost that they've been able to do that system, it seems that there is now a reinvigorated push. If you could just speak to about what DeepSeek's thing means for us. I mean, if there are any lessons or any directional guidance that we've taken about what can be done.
Say, many startups have actually been developing system, technical research ecosystem. We have so many good IITs, we have so many good NITs, we have so many other researchers in defense, in agriculture, so many other places we have so many good researchers. And in the startup space. So we decided that we'll create it as an institution which is collaborative, which is a hub and spoke model, where people from multiple institutions can collaborate to provide and develop the tools and the frameworks and the processes which are needed for AI safety. And as you know, as you are aware, in our data privacy framework also we have used techno-legal. We have always used techno-legal, unlike other geographies which have put the entire emphasis on legal. We have used a techno-legal approach, and in this case also we will use techno-legal approach. Would you like to share that अपने जो projects approved हुए हैं safety से? As a part of this initiative, I would like to share the projects which have been approved. अभी आपके सामने डिटेल में भी रखेंगे. Projects which have been approved for safety related items. These projects are as follows. 1. Machine unlearning. Machine unlearning, this is at IIT Jodhpur. Second, synthetic data generation. This is very important because then you can test your models on multiple safety parameters. This is at IIT Roorkee. Third is AI bias mitigation strategy. We are aware of the biases which can be present in AI based on the way they are trained. So this is a very important project we have taken at NIT Raipur. Explainable AI framework is the fourth project which we have taken up at Defence Institute of Advanced Technology Pune and Mindgraph Technologies in association with that. This basically looks at the privacy preserving framework of any model. The fifth pillar also relates to, fifth project also relates to privacy enhancing strategy. This is done in collaboration with IIT Delhi, IIIT Delhi, IIT Dharwad and Telecom Engineering Center TEC इन सब ने collaboration करके they have come up with a project for privacy enhancing strategy for a model. Sixth is AI ethical certification framework. Here they are creating a tool called Nishpaksh. This is IIIT Delhi and Telecom Engineering Center TEC. Seventh is very, very important. This is AI algorithm auditing tool. This entire world of AI is driven by the algorithms. So for developing a tool which can basically audit the algorithm, this is given to Civic Data Labs, and the tool that they are working on is called Parak. Then last, eighth is AI governance testing framework. This is given to Amrita Vidyapeetham and Telecom Engineering Center in collaboration. ये 8 प्रोजेक्ट सेफ्टी इंस्टीट्यूट के अंडर अप्रूव हुए, इस पे काम चल रहा है, and very soon they will start giving the results. If you look at it, the entire mission, the India AI mission, basically is a very, very holistic approach towards the AI technology, the world of AI. Working on compute facility, working on common compute as the first pillar, working on applications, working on foundation, working on safety, working on data sets, working on skill upgradation, working on developing course curriculum for our students, working on practically every aspect of AI. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Now I'll request Abhishek ji to share the presentation with you. It's there on this screen. Then we can, later on we can have the questions.
ये वाला था वो इसमें आ जाएगा ना प्रेजेंटेशन.
हाँ, foundational.
The ones that have got it using. No, you want to announce the.
Yeah, again, second bola. Shall I just summarize the 4 major, right? First is common compute, where we have got 18,693 GPU. Second is creating foundational models, where the call for proposals will start today, and we hope that there will be 6 players available, which we have already been discussing with, who will be able to give very good foundational models. Third is applications, where 18 apps are being developed in agriculture, learning disability and climate change. Fourth is the Safety Institute and the 8 projects in which, under that Safety Institute, which have been approved. These are the 4 items that we have discussed today. इसके डिटेल्स अभी प्रेजेंटेशन में आएंगे.
ये रेट बता दीजिएगा. We are very worldwide competitive.
By the time the presentation is placed, आप बोलोगे? In the common compute facility, I am very happy to share with you, we'll share this entire deck with you, very happy to share that the rates that have come are phenomenally competitive. Phenomenally competitive. The average rate which has come for AI compute is 115.85 per hour. Rupees 115.85, 115 रुपये एवरेज कंप्यूट. आप ग्लोबली बेंचमार्क करोगे तो अबाउट $2.5 to $3 होता है. $2.5 to $3 होता है, राइट? अपने यहाँ पर 115 रुपये आया है एवरेज कंप्यूट कॉस्ट फॉर bid which has come, right? Per hour. It's always, the unit is always per GPU hour. That availability of that compute power per GPU hour. That's the way it is measured. मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, दुनिया भर में जो बेंचमार्क है $2.50 के आसपास रहता है, $2.5 to $3. अपना आया है 115 रुपए per hour, which is, and we have denominated it in rupee so that there is no fluctuation in the price. And for the high end compute, the price which has been bid is, average rate is 150 rupees per hour. And as a part of the mission, as the common compute facility, we will be giving 40% subsidy on this compute price, which means to our students, to our researchers, to our startups, to our academia, compute will be available in less than 100 rupees per hour, which is a very, very big thing. Common compute facility, in fact, when I shared this concept, shared our Prime Minister's thinking at Davos, people were really, really amazed at this kind of thinking, that a country is looking at creating a common compute facility so that AI compute power is democratized. This was really appreciated by many senior people at Davos. Yeah.
So as the Honorable Minister has explained with regard to the whole RFP and the whole empanelment of cloud services, this is well known about India AI mission, the 7 pillars under which we are implementing it, and the first and foremost, the key pillar about which we are talking today is about the AI compute capacity. So I'll just quickly go into the details of the RFP process and how we have been able to arrive at the rates that Honorable Minister mentioned. Is that under the AI compute in the India AI mission, it was envisaged to set up a minimum of 10,000 GPUs and to ensure that all our end users, whether it's researchers, students, academicians, or startups or industry, they were able to get access to this compute to build AI applications. So we have floated this request for empanelment with an objective to empanel cloud service providers along with other services, and every bidder was required to bid for a minimum of 1,000 GPUs. So this is also well known that the bidders could have been data center operators or cloud service providers or MSPs or their authorized partners or system integrators who had experience in cloud implementation. The empanelment is for 3 years, which can be extended on mutual agreement. The scope included, along with compute, network, storage, and AI platform and other services as well. And the end users, as I mentioned, could be researchers, students, startups, and the government bodies. And we had allowed bidders to submit bids as consortiums, and the end users were to be. We have an end user policy also, which will ensure that only legitimate and fair use of the compute is done for building AI applications. And the RFP process is also not a one-time empanelment; it's a continuous process. So every 3 months there will be other more opportunities for new players also to join in or to bid for new products as and when they come in. This is a very fast evolving field. So this is the minimum specifications: the GPU memory of 24 GB or more, or performance of FP32, FP16 was the minimum prescribed. We do have got bids for very high-end precision FP64 instances also. And the bidding, as I said, was for not only compute but also for AI platforms, software, libraries, storage services, network services, ingress, egress, and also for other AI services which are required for building high-end AI applications. The overall process, of course, the RFP was floated in August, and after evaluations and financial bids were opened last week, and we have finalized the L1 bids as also the empanelment process. The 10 bidders, like we had got 19 bids at the initial stage, but after the pre-qualification, after the technical evaluations, 10 bidders were found eligible to be open for the financial bids to be opened, and this chart gives the details of which bidder has bid for how many GPU units. So we have CMS computers, we have control S data centers, E2E networks, geo platforms, Locus Enterprise, Next Gen data center. Then we have Orient Technologies, we have Tata Communications, we have Vensico Technologies, and Yota Services who have bid for this project. So almost 10 players have bid, and as the Honorable Minister mentioned, we have got a significant number of bids for the high-end compute, as is seen from this chart: 12,896 H100s, 1480 H200s, then almost 232 MI300s and 512 MI325s. Along with that, AWS has also bid for a lot of Inferentia, the AWS GPUs as they are known as. A total of 18,693, which is much more than what we were expecting, a minimum of 10,000. The summary, again, Honorable Minister has mentioned about that. We have got significant discounts under all categories, like average discount is around 42%, and for the high-end compute also we have got a discount of 47%. Average rate, as Honorable Minister mentioned, 115, and for the higher precision is 150 rupees per hour. And we also have rates for storage, networking, and interestingly, the ingress and egress services have been quoted as 0. So that's again a very positive thing for people to have flexibility of using services from multiple platforms. So this is the detailed list. This will be shared with you also, because we have got several models, and as Honorable Minister mentioned, the intent was to democratize access. So it's not that, though we know that H100s and H200s NVIDIA chips dominate the market, but we had kept it open for all flavors. So we have got bids for all models of AMDs, we have got bids for Inferentia, we have got models for NVIDIA, all flavors there also. Like there also for A100s, for H100s, and there also the networking also varies, unveil, SXM, so all the rates have been received. We will be giving you details in the press release with regard to that, and as the chart also shows on-demand prices and how we have got discounts from the published prices. And we have rates for on-demand, we have rates for 1 month reserved, we have also rates for 6 months and 12 months reserved. So this chart also gives the almost 30 models have been bid by various players. So the 6 month and 12 month rates are also very, very competitive. So that if somebody wants to use it for a longer period, they will get a much better, much preferred rates. So this will be sharing it with you. I'm not going into individual rates, but the long and short of it is that we have got very competitive rates, and with the support from the government that will be announced, the rates for H100s will be less than $1 per hour, which is probably the most competitive anywhere in the world. So that was thing about the AI compute. Now we'll quickly explain about the call for proposals for building foundational models, which has been quite on the top of everybody's mind. So, of course, the India AI mission has a provision for building a India-specific foundational model trained on Indian data sets. Why it is required, Honorable Minister mentioned in detail, to ensure that models are trained on Indian data sets with Indian context of relevance, and they address India-specific challenges, build applications in various sectors so that our end users can benefit from them, create societal economic impact, and ensure that they conform to the ethical principle, the responsible AI guidelines that India is prescribing. So the process for the call for proposals is that startups, researchers, entrepreneurs who are wanting to build foundation models, have the capability of building the foundation models, can participate in this. They can build LLMs, they can build large multimodal models, they can build small language models. It's open for all categories of models, and it will the call for proposals is not only for one LLM. The multiple projects in various sectors also can be taken up. The provision also allows IP to remain with the person who is entering it, but government will have a perpetual license to use it for public use. The evaluation criteria will primarily be on the capability of the team, their approach and strategy. Development of use cases also been incentivized. Not that you just have to make a model, you also have to demonstrate how it can be used for solving a societal problem in any sector. Then it has to, timelines and milestones are very important. It cannot be a very long-term project. You will have to compete with the world's best in this regard, and then it has to conform to ethical consideration. It has to be scalable and sustainable, because and financial viability will also be looked into it. Like how does it compare with the benchmark models which are already there in the field. Funding mechanism, there are two approaches which have been envisaged. Initially there will be a direct funding for building the model, where there will be milestone based disbursements, and it can be in additional to any other funds the entity has raised. It will not limit their ability to raise funds from other sources, including state governments, if they are providing funding support. And the other option will be, once the model is developed, if there is more funding required to further refine it, there will be a provision for equity based funding also, in which the terms and conditions are mutually agreed upon. Selection process will be like, once the proposals are received, then there will be expert panel which will be evaluating the proposals, and it's again a very dynamic kind of call for proposals. Not that it's a one-time thing. Every month, by 15th, proposals will be accepted, and all the proposals which are accepted by 15th, they will be evaluated, and a decision will be taken within the next 1 month. So that way, this call for proposal will initially be on for 6 months. So every month there will be a chance for people to participate in this call for proposals. And based on the presentation, based on their capability, demonstrated capability, team strength, and based on their approach and strategy, the funding quantum will be recommended by the expert panel. So that's the details of the call for proposal.